What is going on, full-time family? Mr. Three-Piece in a Soda himself, Leon Edwards, wants the Jorge Masvidal fight, but he's now willing to entertain a Tyron Woodley fight for good money. Now, as far as Leon Edwards wanting a Jorge Masvidal fight, if you guys recall, he recently came out and said he's not fighting unless he gets a Masvidal fight or a title shot. Well, I hear what Leon Edwards wants, but this is what I was always told whenever I used to say I want something. People in hell want ice water, and that's probably exactly what the UFC told Leon Edwards. We hear you and all, but check this out. How about this Tyron Woodley fight? Because you don't have the momentum or the leverage to be making any demands right now. The fans are not clamoring your name. As a matter of fact, when they bring you up, they all call about some sort of three-piece in a soda, and we don't even sell that shit here at the UFC. So this is what you can do. Because unless you just want to sit out and wait, and when you don't have momentum, you can't sit out and wait, because the little bit of momentum or the little bit of acknowledgement and recognition you got from your most recent fight will dwindle away. You have to have a large amount of hype and leverage and momentum in order to be able to wait and sit out for big fights, and that's not something Leon Edwards has. Unlike Jorge Masvidal, who after knocking out Darren Till in his backyard in his hometown, went on to deliver Leon Edwards a three-piece with a soda, like on some Uber Eats shit. Then he went and knocked out Ben Askren as an underdog, fastest knockout in UFC history. That's a record you can be proud of. Fastest knockout in UFC history, where all the best fighters in the world fight in all the weight classes, and you've got the fastest knockout in UFC history. All on top of everything else you just did. And then to go on and be called out by one of the biggest names in the game, Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards got to know to stay in his lane. And that's why I believe he's entertaining this Tyron Woodley fight. Because this is a great fight. Title shot, we already know what's happening there. Usman versus Covington, and next is Masvidal, unless he fights Diaz. But I think next is Masvidal. And now Leon Edwards and Tyron Woodley, they're both looking to get back to a title shot. So that fight makes perfect sense. Leon Edwards versus Tyron Woodley, #1 contender fight. And depending on what happens next with Masvidal, Leon Edwards could potentially fight Masvidal after fighting Woodley. But as far as just being on a win streak and making demands, we know that don't work. Ask Usman, ask Damian Maia, there's literally fighters that are on like 7-fight win streaks in the UFC that are unranked. In the UFC, fighting killers. I'm talking about the guys like the Bilal Muhammad's, the Maribek Tysomovs, like the Islam Makhachev type guys, the who just fought and he recently lost. It wasn't Vicente Luque's. Like, these guys are on win streaks and 7-fight win streaks, and they can't even get a ranked opponent. So what do you think you can get a 7-fight win streak and demand a title shot? You got guys like Max Holloway, 10, 11-fight winning streak. Usman, like 9-fight winning streak before getting his shot. 8-fight winning streak. Ranked opponents. You got Tony Ferguson. What is he on? A fucking 36-fight winning streak right now? Waiting still? No, he's on like a 13, 14-fight winning streak, man. So you can't make any demands just with the winning streak. You got to have momentum. You got to have leverage. You got to be doing really big stuff like Masvidal to be making demands like Masvidal did. So I would love to see this fight, Leon Edwards versus Tyron Woodley. I'm glad Leon Edwards has came back to his senses and he's not planning on waiting out for a title shot or the Masvidal fight. Leon Edwards versus Woodley makes perfect sense. I would love to see that fight. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.